So we're gonna start with the Saiyan saga, and this honestly, these fights were pretty trash in my opinion. The Vegeta story, Saiyan saga was a lot harder than the Goku story. Yeah, we had more fights, of course. This Vegeta, he could catch you slipping. I mean, if he's supered you slot 1, this could do a lot of damage. I will say that. Because he could seal you, which means you couldn't super attack. And then the giant ape, he wasn't anything too crazy either. I mean, he could be stunned, which made the fight a lot easier than what it should have. Honestly, I don't think you shouldn't have been able to stun in this fight at all. Just to make it a little harder. Yeah, this fight was pretty like piss easy. I'm not going to say too much about it just because of how easy it was. It didn't really leave like any lasting impact. So I would say this fight was pretty fodder. I'd say so. The Goku story Saiyan saga fight was pretty fodder. All right, now we're gonna go to the Planet Namek saga. This fight still wasn't as crazy as the Vegeta story, but to put some respect, once you hit final form Frieza, this is when things started to really like ramp up, because he locked your characters, you couldn't dodge, and then on top of that, this super right here for 1.8 million, that raises super attack too. That will do damage. No mistaking it. You know, there's no way out of that super. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to take it at some point. You just better hope the unit that does have to take that super can live it, because you'd be surprised. There have been times when I actually took a lot of damage from this super, and this Frieza had like caught me a couple of times. And then once you get to this guy, he's critting when he launches a super. And on top of that, he's also dealing 10% of your or 10% of enemies max HP as damage to the enemy every turn. So basically he's reducing your HP as he's critting you on a super attack, and he's getting 50% attack buff on top of 2.1 million damage. So this Frieza is basically like, he's basically saying like, look, I'm about to one-shot you and there's nothing you're gonna do about it. Literally, I'm gonna hit this full power death ball. I'm gonna throw this thing at you full force in your face, and there's nothing you're gonna do about it, unless you dodge. But if you don't dodge, and this guy's normals too, they can get up there too. Like this full power Frieza, he wasn't no joke, especially at the time. Oh, and I think I forgot. Yeah, the fact that he couldn't be stunned, debuffed, or sealed, that's what made this fight a little more difficult. So at the time, I'd say he was pretty hard. Remember, a lot of these fights, I'm ranking them on how they were at the time when we had to do them. So for the first 3 stages of every red zone that we had in this anniversary, we didn't have 10th anniversary units yet. So we were dealing with low-key 10th anniversary power creep without 10th anniversary units. So yeah, this fight was hard at the time. Okay, and then for the Cell saga and the Goku story, this fight wasn't crazy. The only thing that this fight really had was that this Cell right here, he do an AoE super attack, and yeah, that you would get caught by that for sure. You would get caught by that, but these guys weren't doing anything too crazy. I'd probably say this is maybe one of the easier, you know, first batch of red zone fights, because you could play around this. I mean, you know, you could dodge. So the AoE, it doesn't mean anything if you could dodge. I mean, granted, you get the dodge, but even if you do, some units can still live that AoE super. So for this Cell, since you could dodge, I'd say this is easy with a gimmick. You know, you bring... Bro, all you really need is UI Goku. If you could bring UI Goku and he does what he has to do, you're straight. Okay, and then next up we have the Majin Buu saga in the Goku story red zone. Yeah, this fight wasn't too hard either. I think this is around the time when we actually did get the 10th anniversary units. So this is like stage 4. It's like the next batch of red zone fights. Yeah, this fight wasn't doing anything too crazy either. I mean, this Kid Buu, he sort of reminded me of the Majin Buu Saga red zone Kid Buu, but this guy wasn't as difficult. Yeah, I don't think so. This guy was pretty easy. I mean, like I said, at this time we did have 10th anniversary units, but even then, like a lot of the units around them, I don't think there was a time when I really got caught like pretty crazy. I mean, maybe the footage says otherwise. I haven't played this stage in a minute, so I know the footage will maybe say another story, but from what I can remember, this fight wasn't too difficult for me. I mean, there's nothing really special about it, to be honest. What I can give this, let's see. You can't dodge. I mean, no, you can dodge. You can't seal, you can't stun. That's normal. I mean, as long as you can dodge. I mean, even with dodge, like still, like some of these other units could get caught. I mean, yeah, you could like gimmick your way through this, to be honest. Yeah, this is like C tier. Because, like I said, you can dodge, but even though like you can't like really debuff or anything, you can't super attack seal, you can't stun. This fight wasn't that difficult, if I'm being honest. All right, so now this is a different story. The Goku story, Beerus. This guy is where it really started to like ramp up in difficulty. This Beerus, okay, look at that HP first of all. 600 million HP. 600 million HP. On top of that, he crits when he supers. He's doing 2.1 million damage, and he debuffs your attack. You can't seal him, you can't stun him, you can't debuff him. You, like I said, you just basically better hope you dodge, because if not, then that's going to be a pretty nasty super. Randomly changing all the key spheres, that doesn't do anything too crazy, although he does get an attack buff when he's 50% or less. This fight right here, this will take you a minute to get through. I'm not going to lie. Like at some point, if you're not careful, you will get caught and you will get sniped. No doubt about it. And a lot of these fights aren't. So here's the thing. When you see a 2.1 million damage super, you think, oh, okay, you know, that's not really nothing. Like we have bosses before this that could do that much damage and we'd be fine. But no, it's when they crit. The crit is what really gets you. Like a 2.1. Okay, get this. For some characters, at a certain point, 2.1 million damage super, that'll probably hit for like 100k, right? With a crit, that's hitting you for 300k plus. So that's where it gets you. It's the crit on top of the high HP pool that this guy has. This Beerus, like he's difficult, even still. Like he's a great showcase fight. I will say that. I'm gonna give this guy, he's very hard. He's not crazy 10th anniversary power creep, but he's very hard. Even still. Like 600 million HP, it's still gonna take you a while to get through all that. Now, so for the revival, the ROF saga, basically. This Frieza, okay, so his first final form, Frieza, he's not doing anything crazy. This is one of those fights where you can like kind of breeze through. But when you get to LR Golden Frieza, holy shit, bro. I remember like this guy. This is around the time I think this is the time when the worldwide download celebration saga units EZA, the full power Frieza and Namek Goku. Namek Goku is perfect for this fight, but the fact that this guy does 6 million damage super, and on top of that, he's raising his attack and defense by 50%. Dude, this guy literally, this Frieza right here, Golden Frieza right here, he one-shots Namek Goku. Even with a bunch of stacks, he one-shots Namek Goku. I never thought I'd be saying that. I mean, I have the footage. So you can disagree with me if you want, Maybe that was just my experience, but I have the footage to prove it. And I will put it in this video to prove my point. Not saying Namek, I'm not going on I'm not going on a rant about how bad Nameku is. He's decent, but this Frieza doing 6 million damage, this guy was pretty brutal. And on more times than often, he would be supering you in the first slot. So you better hope you have a unit that can either dodge that or a unit that at that point can tank it. Not a lot of units can tank 6 million damage, even still. But you know, this Frieza, he was pretty hard. I will say that he's still hard to this day. He makes a great showcase stage too. Like this is a perfect fight for Namek Goku because he can get exposed, but as well he can look very good in this fight. So for this Frieza, he's very hard. I think this is fair. This Frieza was a lot harder than the Vegeta story Frieza. A lot more menacing too. Even though he doesn't crit on super, does he? Hold on. So yeah, the Goku story Frieza doesn't crit on his supers, but the fact that he's doing 6 million damage, like not a lot of units are gonna live that. Like let's just be honest. And if you say otherwise, then we must not be playing the same Dokkan. All right, so next up we have the Universe 6 saga. I don't know what it is about the Universe 6 fights, but none of these were really difficult. Yeah, Batamo was pretty cheeks. Frost was pretty cheeks. I mean, he's like the next step up in difficulty. I mean, a little HP he's only 40 million under the Beerus fight. Thing is though, you can't dodge. He gets an attack and defensive buff by 50% on his third turn. And he's doing a 30% attack and defensive buff. This, like I said, by the time you get to this hit anyway, you bust out the Vegito active skill. You know what I'm saying? He's doing 20 million counter crits. Like you can knock this guy down pretty easy. This hit, this Universe 6, none of these fights were really, I'm not gonna say good, but they weren't bad either. I'd probably say this. I mean, yeah, Universe 6 fights were pretty fodder, in my opinion. Like I said, maybe my count's pretty stacked. I mean, I've been playing since 6th anniversary. I know a lot of the newer players will probably say this fight was dumb hard because they don't have like the best setups. But to me, this fight was pretty fodder. All right, so next we have the Future Trunks saga. Now, okay, I will say this fight gave me a little bit of trouble because check this out. Goku Black, depending on what character gets supered, can do a lot of damage, right? But he's not anything crazy. This is a Zamasu though. He can seal you. And this is at the point when we had the 7th anniversary LRs at Easy Aid. And as you guys know, those are stacking units. So if they get sealed, that's gonna tremendously hurt their performance. The more stacks with those guys, the better. And this guy, he was like the perfect counter for them. And oh my gosh, dude, I remember this fight. This Zamasu pissed me off because look at that. He has a 20% chance to evade your supers or evade attacks. Bro, I kid you not, that 20% chance to dodge felt like 80 with this guy. Is there's a time, and I have the clips to prove it. I'm gonna include the clips. Don't worry, I will include the proof. This guy was dodging literally everything I was throwing at him, and it just pissed me off, bro. This fight isn't his portion of the fight isn't crazy. It's just you can get unlucky with this guy, and that will hinder your performance with this Goku Black and Rose right here. These guys are pretty brutal. I mean, their HP pool is like up there. 630, like that's the most HP that, you know, the fights had at this time. Yeah, 630 million, that's a lot of HP. They raised their defense, doing 4.2 million. And I think once you got down to a certain point, so they did another, a different super attack that did 300k more damage. And it upped their attack too. You know, you couldn't stun, couldn't seal, you can't debuff him. they recovered a lot of HP. Like, I remember, I think the first time around, I was trying to do this fight with a Battle of Fate team, and that team, they just weren't doing enough damage to sustain the HP that was being recovered. Like, they were recovering more HP every turn than damage I could do with the Battle of Fate team. So that fight took, dude, I was probably up to like turn 17 trying to beat these guys with a Battle of Fate team until I just gave up, bro. Like, dude, they're doing too much healing. So this fight can be pretty difficult because the longer you draw it out, the more these guys are going to have a chance to really like snipe you. So with this fight is very hard. I'll give them that. Like, DOKKAN, they cooked up a banger with this fight right here. I like it. It's a good showcase stage too. All right, and then boom. Next, we have the Universal Survival Saga. Now, okay, so with this fight, this is actually the more difficult Universal Survival Saga fight. Because check this out, Bergamo, he wasn't anything crazy, but I know a lot of units can get taken out by him. This Bergamo, he's definitely a step up from the other Universal Survival Saga fight. Kale, not doing anything crazy. She actually has like the lowest HP out of everybody in this fight. So she didn't feel like a real threat at all. Like, these two, they weren't any real threats. Kale was a little step up from there. Like, she was actually doing a lot of damage. Like, she did a lot of damage. I have turns where I've gotten sniped by her. Like, not like to the point to where I died, but she did a lot. She's raising her attack and defense by 30%. Yeah, those her super could really like get you. I will say that. Now, when it comes to the big boy Jiren right here, Int Jiren, he's locking you. He has an HP threshold. He can stun you. Not stun, he can seal you. He raises his attack by 50% on top of a 3.9 billion super. No, that's million, my bad. 3.9 million super. And on top of that, he's doing AoEs. The AoEs are actually what got me from this guy, because I have a clip of and I have the clip. It's a clip of the Tech Goku from the Vegeta card. And, you know, Goku, he's not a defensive character, so of course, but one AoE from this Jiren, one AoE attack after Goku, like, I think quad supered, he took, I think he took like anywhere from like 5 to 800k damage from one AoE from this Jiren. Yeah, sure, I know, type disadvantage, of course. Powerful AoEs. Goku's not a defensive character, but it's like, damn, bro, it was either a triple or a quad super. You're telling me you can't take a fucking AoE attack? I mean, that's no diss to Goku, but I'm just saying that just shows how powerful this Jiren is. 350 million HP too. Like, this guy can get pretty crazy. You know, like, he could put you in a certain position to where he could definitely like take you out of the fight. And then this behemoth right here, Jiren full power. This guy was actually kind of nuts because you can't dodge him, right? He's critting when he supers you. You can't seal him, you can't stun, you can't debuff. He raises his attack and defense by 80%, 2.2 million super, and the HP, it's really the HP that's like makes him hard. 550 million. So it's gonna take you a long time to really like take him down. Then on top of that, like, there's no like select slot in which he likes to super in. So you could get him before you super in the first slot, or you could get him after the fact. But the case is that he's still doing hella damage, and he's critting. So that'll literally take a lot of units out of the game. Even some 10th anniversary units. I'm not gonna say who. I'm not gonna name names, but he will take your team, he will take your 10th anniversary teams out of the fight. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Jiren, this full power Jiren, basically, he's the epitome of kick ass and take names later. This guy right here. So yeah, with with this fight right here, this was some more 10th anniversary power creep. This guy is hard, I will say. He's a step below this Goku, a step above this Jiren, but he is hard. I'd say this is some 10th anniversary power creep right here. I think a lot of people would agree with that. Okay, and then last but not least, we have the Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. To be real, this fight was way easier than the Blue Goku fight. Like I beat this Vegeta on my first try. I mean, he's nothing. He's like a shadow of what Super Saiyan Blue Goku is doing. Cause okay, look at this. The defense isn't, or not the defense. The HP isn't as high, but 1.2 billion. That's still up there. Like you're gonna be in this fight for at least like 9+ turns. He massively raises defense, and then he greatly lowers your attack. So it's gonna feel like he's way tankier than what he is, but it's just his defense is getting a massive buff, and he's lowering your attack. He's doing a 1.1 million super, which that will catch up to you for sure. You can dodge. That's the great thing about this fight. You can dodge, which makes this significantly easier. I have clips of who is it? Is it Cell? Yeah, I think it's either my showcase for AGL Cell, the Easy A Cell, and the who else? I think it might have been Gohan, the STR Gohan, the STR Goku and Gohan exchange. These guys are just dodging his first slot supers like nothing, and this guy will always super in the first slot. Like, it's so annoying, bro. But the thing is, though, he doesn't double super, which is nice. He has an HP threshold or damage threshold, and then with each attack received, he gets attack plus 5% up to 300%. So you're gonna hit this easy because this is a long fight. So at some point you get the wrong unit in you get the wrong unit in slot 1 and he doesn't dodge, you're gonna get cooked. Even if you get the right unit in slot 1 and he doesn't dodge, you're still gonna take damage and or get sent packing right back to the home screen. Don't mistake it. Even though he's no Super Saiyan Blue Goku, this guy will he will put the hurt on you. You know what I'm saying? Like he's gonna like on some old school like 1950s bullying shit. Like he's gonna put you up to the locker, ask you for your lunch money, and then yeah, he's gonna bully you for your lunch money and then just walk off, only to do that shit again. Yeah, so with this guy, like I said, he's no Blue Goku, but just the fact that he's still up there, I consider him. It's just the fact that you can dodge though. Like I beat this guy on my first try. Like he wasn't that hard. He's very hard. Like I said, he's a step below Blue Goku because you can't dodge, and he's just gonna keep relentlessly double supering you until he hits to the point to where he's just gonna one-shot you. This Blue Goku. So yeah, I mean, this is pretty much my tier list. I'd say everybody who's in the S tier and the A tier, like you will get creamed if you're not prepared for these S tier and A tier fights. You will 100% get creamed with a capital C if you're not prepared. All these other fights, you can kind of like play around with different units without really like taking too much of a sacrifice. But it's just these S tier and A tier fights right here. Yeah, maybe not this Frieza anymore just because like we're past that point. But like I said, at the time when these fights were being done, this guy was very hard. It was mainly the Ginyu, but these are still some pretty tough fights. So yeah, that's my ranking of all the Goku and Vegeta story Red Zone fights. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree. You know, maybe there's some units you could, you know, move down, move up. I think this is pretty fair in my assessment. Like I said, my box is pretty stacked, and these 3 fights right here gave me the most trouble. Mainly this blue Goku, but these 3 fights right here, I'd say this is a prime example of 10th anniversary power creep. Maybe if this guy, maybe if you couldn't dodge in this Vegeta fight, then I'd move him up. But the fact that you can dodge just makes it so much easier. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and let me know if you guys want to see me do more tier lists. Like I said, I have fun doing these, and I'm pretty sure the community would agree with this list right here. Yeah. All right. Well, that's pretty much it. See you guys in the next one. Peace.